Your team, the Clippers, back in action tonight. Kawhi and the Clippers are trying to avoid going down 0-2 for the second straight series tonight against the Jazz. Paul George said he will be more decisive in Game 2 after going 4 of 17 in their 3-point loss. But Donovan Mitchell and company find themselves as 3.5-point favorites, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. So, Shannon, you now have the Jazz winning in 5 games. So I assume you're picking the Jazz to win tonight.
Absolutely. See, I love the way I do. I love the way the Jazz are playing. And you mentioned something the other day about the adversity that the Clippers overcame, considering what had happened to them last year, being up 3-1, losing, being down 0-2, being down, 3-2, and finding ways to win ball games. Where the Jazz went through a very similar situation with the Denver Nuggets last year. They were up 3-1 and found themselves squandering that away. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love the way he's playing. Skip, he has the 3rd highest scoring playoff average of all active players behind Kevin Durant and LeBron James. That speaks volume. I love the supporting cast. Rudy Gobert, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a difference maker because the things that they could do against the Mavericks, Rudy Gobert will neutralize that. So he's playing well. Bogdanovich had 18 points. Clarkson had 18 points. But Skip, when you go back and look at it, the Jazz, with the exception of Donovan Mitchell, really didn't play particularly well. You look at Donovan Mitchell, he was 16 of 30 from the field. Derek Favors was 1 of 1. Everyone else was less than 50%. I don't believe they play that bad again. So while you saying that, hey, the Clippers got to feel encouraged, I don't think so. I love what I saw from the Utah Jazz. I love it because not only can they take and make threes, they make them in crucial situations. And that's normally the difference in the ball game because we saw Dallas Maverick get off the hot start shooting the 3-ball, and then when it really mattered, late in the ball game in the 4th quarter, they couldn't seem to buy a basket. Skip, but I got an interesting stat for you. I don't know if you knew this, but Paul George has had 10 games in which he shot less than 25% from the field. That's the 3rd most in the shot clock era. So what we're starting to see here...
Playoff games.
Playoff games. So what we're starting to see here, the Paul George that we've seen over the last couple of games, this is more in line with where he is and who he is. So I like the Utah Jazz tonight. Now, I don't know if Mike Conley's going to play. If he rests tonight, that means he wouldn't probably play again. I think the next game would probably be Sunday. So that would give them give him about 10, 11 days off to rest that hamstring. So I'm not sure. He's listed as questionable, but I love what I'm seeing from the Utah Jazz. They're built for this moment, and I think last year had a lot to do with how they were able to come back because they found themselves in a very similar situation. Up 3-1, feeling good about themselves, had a lead in a couple of those ball games, and the Nuggets were able to track them down. I don't believe that. They go up 2-0. Katie barred the door.
Katie barred the door. Katie opened the door.
No, Katie ain't opened the door.
I don't know who Katie was, but she is famous, man. She's got to bar that door because it's... Okay, all right. So here's what I just heard from you, and this is my takeaway from what you just said. You said it was absolutely going to be the Jazz in 5 games, which makes tonight a virtual must-win for your Jazz, right? Because if it's going to be 5 games, you don't want to blow this one because then you'd have to go win 2 at Clippers, and then you'd have to come home and win another. That's easy?
Yeah, Dallas did that 3 times.
Well,
Dallas did that 3 times.
In Game 7?
That's what I'm saying. But hold on. But you won't get to a Game 7. So you don't have to worry about what it's going to be like in Game 7.
Is this a guarantee tonight that the Jazz are going to win this game?
What you want? You want 2 cases on this game because you keep on poking like you snooping around for something. You want 2 cases? Just say you want 2 cases.
Jazz are favored by 3.5, so I'll take the 3.5.
Done.
2 cases.
2 cases.
Thank you.
2 cases.
Because I believe in the Los Angeles Clippers.
You believe in them to win or you believe in them to cover?
Well, I believe in them to win this series. That's all I care about. I picked Clippers in 6. I'm going to stick with Clippers in 6. You have Jazz in 5. So we are on opposite ends of the earth on this one.
We are.
So it's going to swing one way or the other tonight.
Yes.
Game 2 at Utah. They were 4.5-point favorites at Utah, were the Jazz in Game 1. Now it's shrunk a little bit to 3.5. So somebody, some odds maker somewhere is saying, man, I better gear this down a little bit because the Clippers showed me they hung right in there because the final score was 112 to 109. And would you believe the Clippers had the ball in their hands? Rajon Rondo, playoff Rondo, had the ball in his hands. Kawhi Leonard had it in his hands twice. Paul George had it once, and Marcus Morris had it once to shoot a three to tie the game at the end of regulation, right?
Yeah.
So was it a wipeout? Let me ask you, did what happened to the Denver Nuggets twice at Phoenix happen to the Clippers once at Utah? No, it did not.
Not yet, anyway.
Well, that's your point. Did what happened to Milwaukee twice at Brooklyn happen to the Clippers at Utah in Game 1?
Not yet.
No, it has not happened. So you didn't see mismatch, did you? Or maybe you did. Maybe I saw the wrong game. I don't know. Maybe I was on the wrong channel. I don't know.
No.
Did you see a competitive basketball game?
It was a competitive basketball game. You guys were up 13. Utah missed 20 straight shots. Tell me the last time. The last time somebody missed that many shots in a row, they got blown out. You remember Houston? They missed 27 straight threes. They lost bad.
Okay. So here's what I saw in the Dallas series. I saw the most amazing comeback in NBA playoff history. I saw the most improbable, impossible comeback I have ever seen because they lost the first two at home, did the Clippers, went to Dallas and quickly fell behind 30-11 on a Friday night before a crazed packed house in Dallas. 30-11, and dug themselves out of that. You can't get a deeper hole than that. Down 30-11 on the road, facing down 0-3. Because at that point, if I had called you up in your palatial estate up in Bel Air, you would have been laughing, saying, it is over. Because you would have said they're about to go down 0-3 and they're not going to be able to dig out of an 0-3 hole, right? But they dug out of an 0-2 down 30-11 hole, and they won Game 3. Against all odds. And they won a game in which Dallas made 23-point shots at home. Never before in NBA playoff history had a team made 20 and lost a home game. But the Clippers did that to the Mavericks. Then the Clippers really did it to them in Game 4, and then came home and just upchucked all over the floor and looked like the Clippers of old, the ugly stepchild down in the basement of Staples.
Let me ask you this. You believe if Utah made 23, the Clippers going to beat them?
It's never happened. It's only happened one time.
Exactly.
Well, I hope they don't, or I'm probably in trouble.
You in trouble.
If Donovan Mitchell, your man, if he scores 45 tonight, including 16 in the third and 16 in the fourth, I'm in big trouble because they will not be able to overcome that again. So the point is he the best player on the floor? Is he better than Kawhi Leonard? I don't think so.
No.
Because what happened in the Clippers-Dallas series was Kawhi proved to you, slowly but surely, he was the best player on the floor. All I heard from you and Chris Broussard through the first, really, 5 games was, Luke is the best player on the floor.
He was.
Well, he wasn't.
And
because
I still
in
make
the
a case
end,
that he
it's a
was.
7-game series, and Kawhi Leonard proved he was the best player in that series.
But the difference is, Skip, is that Kawhi and PG could get all the way to the rim. They're not finishing at the rim with Rudy Gobert up under there. You know that, and I know that. Now, see, you got to play Zubats because you can't play Batum, you can't play Paul George behind Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert, although he's not the greatest of post-up players, he is smart enough to know when I got a 6'8" guy and I'm 7'2" behind me, I'm going to get 5 feet from the basket. They throw me the ball, and I just turn around and just shoot a little soft sky hook over the top of it.
Who's taller, Boban or Rudy Gobert?
Boban.
Help me out. Boban. Who's taller, Porzingis or Rudy Gobert? Porzingis is, right?
Which player would you rather have, Rudy Gobert, Porzingis, or Boban?
Well, Boban's taller, and he gets in the way just as much as Rudy Gobert gets in the way.
Rudy Gobert just won the Defensive Player of the Year for the first time in 4 years.
I'm glad he did.
So that's the difference.
That usually jinxes the home team when something like that happens.
And it's only ironic that he won that award and had the Defensive Player of the Game, right? So, with that being said,
defensive play of the game, he was just standing there. I mean, Marcus Morris winds up with the ball like, you want me to shoot it? Because you guys know?
No, he wasn't just standing there.
No, he was just standing there.
He jumped, and then still was able to come back and block it.
He was already standing there. I mean, they had